The level 4 shot damage output of the Rampage Bow is 45 to 61. The damage output of Heaven's Glaze is 56 to 66, with 72 being an outlier. So based on damage numbers alone, it looks like Heaven's Glaze might be the winner, but there's a catch. I'm going to go over the best bows to use for the Monster Hunter Rise 3.0 update, and we're going to start right now. To find out the best bows, we got to make sure we have the highest damage dealing bows for each shot type and element, which means, yes, I created 21 different Rampage bows. Why? So you don't have to. Seeing all the hard work I put into all these Rampage bows puts a smile on my face. You know what also puts a smile on my face? Rampage bowing that like and subscribe button. Some of you have wondered if we should have different types of bows. My answer is yes. A player should have a plethora of weapons that's going to suit each hunt. If a player has enough time to hunt for the materials, making sure you have the right weapon for the hunt will minimize the amount of hunt time you'll have for that job because you'll be doing the maximum amount of damage. Because the shorter the hunt times, the more hunts you can do, which also means the more fun you can have. For example, this ice bow is going to work a lot better against Diablos as opposed to God's Rod. That's because each monster has a weakness. I'm going to go over the best bows based on element, going over rapid shots, pierce shots, and then ending with spread shots. While testing out these bows, the pierce and spread shots are going to use these abilities: full element up, constitution, weakness exploit, stamina surge, shot type up, critical boost, and bow charge plus. The rapid type bows are going to look like this. It's going to have full element up, constitution, weakness exploit, stamina surge, rapid up, attack boost +2, critical boost, and bow charge plus. For reference of the Rampage Bow build, I have attack boost 4, the element at max, which for fire is 3. Firing is either going to be rapid, spread, or pierce, and use power coating and exhaust coating, with arc shot being affinity. Let's find out what the best fire bow is for rapid shots. We're going to compare the Rampage Bow with the Antonath Bow Flaming Rage Bow. So what we want to do is find out the damage output of the level 4 charge shot of both bows to figure out the damage potential of the most used shot. The Rapid's damage output for the level 4 shot is 38 to 72. The damage output for the Flaming Rage Bow is 46 to 58, with an outlier of 72. With Flaming Rage Bow having Brutal Strike, the damage comparisons are pretty close. The Flaming Rage Bow has a higher minimum damage threshold, but the Rampage Bow has a more consistent damage output overall. Which one wins? It's pretty close, but for me, the best fire type bow with rapid shots is the Rampage Bow. Let's compare the fire pierce bows. We're going to compare the Rampage Bow with the Raknakadaki Bow Arachnotorch. And also you get 3 slots, 1 2-slotter and 2 1-slotters. And if you're asking what I'm using crit boost and then elemental damage up. For the Rampage Bow, the level 4 damage output is 48 to 68. The damage output for the Arachnotorch is 75 to 94. The clear winner based on damage is the Arachnotorch. It's your best fire pierce bow. Comparing the fire spread bows, we're going to start with the Rampage Bow, and we're going to pair that with the Rathalos Bow Dark Filament. The level 4 shot damage output of the Rampage Bow is 46 to 51. The damage output of Dark Filament is 26 to 43. The clear winner based on damage is the Rampage Bow. So the Rampage Bow is your best fire spread bow. Let's go over the water bows. For water rapid, we're going to compare the Rampage Bow with the Mizutsune Bow Heaven's Mana. The level 4 shot Rampage Bow damage output is 45 to 57. The damage output of Heaven's Mana is 43 to 54, with occasional outliers of 59. The damage outputs are pretty comparable, but the best bow out of these is the Rampage Bow. For your best water rapid bow. For water pierce bows, we're going to compare the Rampage Bow with the Ludroth Bow Porifera Bow. The Porifera Bow has an extra slot, so I put a crit element boost in there. The level 4 damage output of the Rampage Bow is 41 to 60 damage. The damage output for the Ludroth Bow is 40 to 55. The one that did the most damage is the Rampage Bow. So the Rampage Bow is your best water pierce bow. For the water spread bow, we're going to compare the Rampage Bow with the Almadron Bow Hail of Mud. Also, Hail of Mud as a Rampage skill has Element Exploit. The level 4 shot damage output of the Rampage Bow is 32 to 41. For Hail of Mud, the damage output is 32 to 39. So the damage output of these bows is pretty similar, with Hail of Mud trailing by 2 damage points on the maximum end. But because of the level 3 shot of Hail of Mud, which is Pierce level 5, it gets 1 extra arrow, meaning for every shot it does approximately 25% more damage than the Rampage Bow. Hail of Mud is the highest damage output for water spread bows. Let's go over the Thunder bows. For Thunder Rapid, we're going to go over the Rampage Bow, and we're going to compare that with the Tobi Kadachi Bow, Flying Kadachi Striker. The damage output of the level 4 shot of the Rampage Bow is 45 to 61. The Flying Kadachi Striker, the damage output is 42 to 51. So the Rampage Bow is your best Thunder Rapid Bow. So we're going to compare the Abyssal Storm Bow with the Rampage Bow. The level 4 shot damage output of the Rampage Bow is 51 to 64. The damage output of the Narwhal Bow is 48 to 58. So based on damage numbers, the best Thunder Pierce Bow is the Rampage Bow. Again, for Thunder Spread, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to compare the Rampage Bow with the Narwhal Bow without the Mighty Bow Feather. Because without the Mighty Bow Feather, the highest level shot is Spread. So we're going to compare this highest level shot Spread Bow with the Rampage. And for reference, for the Abyssal Storm Bow, I'm going to be using the Kaiser Crown with a Thunder Attack Jewel. The level 4 shot damage output of the Rampage Bow is 33 to 43. The level 3 spread shot damage of the Narwhal Bow is 31 to 41. The numbers are really close, but the best Thunder Spread Bow is the Rampage Bow. Moving on to the Ice element, we're going to compare rapid bows. We're going to start with the Rampage Bow and compare it with the Gosarog Bow, Heaven's Glaze. Note how Heaven's Glaze has a level 3 slot. We're going to put Crit Element in there. Also, we have Element Exploit as a Rampage skill. The level 4 shot damage output of the Rampage Bow is 45 to 61. The damage output of Heaven's Glaze is 56 to 66, with 72 being an outlier. So based on damage numbers alone, it looks like Heaven's Glaze might be the winner, but there's a catch. The Rampage Bow has Rapid level 5, while Heaven's Glaze has Rapid level 3. That means the Rampage Bow shoots 4 arrows for a damage output of, and Heaven's Glaze shoots 3 arrows with a damage output of 123. Because of this, the Rampage Bow is your best Rapid Ice Bow. Let's find out what the best Ice Pierce Bows are, so we're going to start with the Rampage Bow and compare it with the Goshala Dalra Bow, Dalras Sagittari. It has one level 1 slot, so we're going to put Ice in there. And for the Rampage skill, we're going to use Goshala Dalra Soul, because this Rampage skill is amazing. The level 4 shot damage output of the Rampage Bow is 52 to 71. The damage output of the Dalra Sagittari is a consistent 63. So based on the efficient runtimes, the Goshala Dalra Bow is the best Ice Pierce Bow. For Ice Spread Bow, we're going to compare the Rampage Bow with the Berioth Bow, Edelweiss. Edelweiss comes with 2 level 1 slots, so I'm going to at least add 1 elemental damage up. The level 4 damage output of the Rampage Bow is 32 to 48. The damage output of Edelweiss is 29 to 38. Comparing these two, there's a clear winner. The Rampage Bow is your best Ice Spread Bow. We're going to start with the Rampage Bow and compare it with the Ibushi Bow, Abyssal Gale Bow. The level 4 damage output of the Rampage Bow is 58 to 72. The damage output of the Abyssal Gale Bow is 70 to 80. So the best Dragon Rapid Bow is the Abyssal Gale Bow. For Pierce Bows, we're going to compare the Rampage Bow with the Nahabra Bow, Arco Unu Black. The level 4 damage output of the Rampage Bow is 50 to 75. The damage output of the Arco Unu Black is 42 to 69. So the best Dragon Pierce Bow is the Rampage Bow. For Spread Bow, we're going to start with the Rampage Bow and compare it with the Valstrax Bow, Red Knot Dragon Arc. Note that Dragon Arc has the level 2 slot. I'll put Critical Element in there. The level 4 shot damage output of the Rampage Bow is 35 to 51. The output damage of the Dragon Arc is 42 to 57. Based on damage output numbers alone, the Dragon Arc is the better bow. But also the level 4 shot is Spread level 5, so it gets 1 extra arrow compared to the Rampage Bow. So the best Dragon Spread Bow is the Valstrax Bow, Red Knot Dragon Arc. Let's go over Blast Bows. So we're going to compare the Rampage Blast Bow with the Magnamala Bow. So the level 4 damage output of the Rampage Bow is 35 to 46, with an outlier of 51. The damage output of the Magnamala Bow is 34 to 44, with an outlier of 49. So based on the damage numbers, the best Rapid Blast Bow is the Rampage Bow. For Blast Pierce Bows, there really isn't any competition. The Rampage Bow is your only choice. The level 4 shot damage output of the Rampage Bow is 33 to 49. So the Rampage Bow is your best Blast Pierce Bow. And for the spread shot, you kind of have the same situation. There's really no competition. The level 4 damage output for the Rampage Bow is 28 to 40. So the Rampage Bow is your best blast spread bow. I know what you're thinking, and yes, we're gonna compare the raw bows. So the only difference for the Rampage slots for the Rampage Bow is the non-elemental boost. So for raw rapid damage, we're gonna compare the Rampage Bow to the Tigrex bow without the Mighty Bow Feather. And I replaced the Mighty Bow Feather with the Kaiser Crown. And for the Rampage skill, I'm gonna use Brutal Strike. The level 4 damage output of the Rampage Bow is 38 to 50. The damage output of the Tigrex bow is 35 to 50. The damage numbers are very close, but it looks like the Rampage Bow is your best rapid raw damage bow. For pierce bows, I'm going to compare the Rampage Bow with the Nargacuga bow Night Flight. Notice how it also has a level 2 slot. The level 4 damage output of the Rampage Bow is 41 to 53, with 59 being the outlier. The damage output of the Nargacuga bow is 48 to 53, with the damage outlier being 65. So comparing these two, the best raw pierce bow is the Nargacuga bow Night Flight. For raw spread bows, we're going to go ahead and compare the Rampage Bow with the Chameleos bow Demon's Guidance. The level 4 damage output of the Rampage Bow is 31 to 40, with 44 being the outlier. The damage output of Demon's Guidance is 41 to 53. And because of spread shot 5, you get 5 arrows, one more than the Rampage Bow. So comparing the damage outputs of both of these, the best raw spread bow is the Chameleos bow, Demon's Guidance. It even comes with a level 3 slot on there. Out of the 21 different bow categories, how many did the Rampage Bow win? Let me know in the comments below. I have a video right here if you want to know the best armor sets to use for these bows. Thank you for watching another Poogie Boogie video. Stay healthy, stay strong. Catch you next time.